Everybody likes a thrill, but we all get them in different ways. For some people, it's a fast car or a rock concert. For others, it's a roller coaster or skydiving. Today, we're going to see the world's fastest zip line, a roller coaster that exceeds the acceleration of gravity, and a hiking trail that is only for the bravest living people. Hold on tight, subscribe to the channel, and let's take a closer look at the 10 scariest attractions in the world. Number 10. Chernobyl, Ukraine. While most of the entries on today's list will involve immediate burst of adrenaline, this first destination is more of a long-term health risk. Most people know about the 1986 nuclear disaster at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant north of Ukraine. The incident was global news, and locally it had a devastating impact on the environment. And the site of the original explosion won't be safe for long-term human habitation for another 20,000 years. Overall, it might be a good place to avoid overall. But shockingly, it is actually a tourist destination, with many people touring the exclusion zone every year. Apart from the fallout of the original disaster, some recovery efforts also carry pros and cons. For instance, the government buried several contaminated buildings in an effort to contain the spread nearly 35 years ago. That sounded like a pretty good idea, but the time in between may have allowed nuclear material to leach into the ground in unknown quantities. In short, pretty much the entire area is a nuclear disaster that is wildly available to the public. And if you thought this place was high risk, wait until you see our number 1 entry, an attraction with far more immediate dangers. Before we go on, like this video, pop the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell right now, or the ghost in your closet will manifest itself tonight. Number 9. Yosemite Half Dome. Some attractions are scary by nature, such as roller coasters and bungee jumping, but others come with a good statistical reason to be fearful. That's the case for our next scary attraction. California's world-famous Yosemite National Park is home to many breathtaking attractions, one of which is a rock formation known as the Half Dome. The Half Dome is a massive chunk of pure granite that many once believed no person could climb the sheer face of. After all, it is 8,800 feet straight up. Today, however, with the benefits of modern engineering, anyone with enough courage can climb it via a series of cable guardrails and footholds. Despite this, the Yosemite Half Dome isn't without risks. In fact, in recent years, it has been the scene of 240 emergency incidents and 12 deaths. In 2006, a climber from New Mexico fell 300 feet to her death. Authorities are conducting ongoing investigations into how to make the climb safer, including how much of a factor overcrowding played in these deaths. Number 8. CHONGQING Bridge in ZHANGJIAJE in ZHANGJIAJE. The Ordovision theme park in China is a hotspot for adrenaline junkie tourists from around the world. It is home to many high-flying thrills, including the world's longest glass footbridge, or an Ordovision theme park's bridge with missing planks that challenges visitors to jump across randomly spaced planks 500 feet above the ground. 2,300 glass bridges have been built in China alone, but perhaps ZHANGJIAJE is the most noteworthy. This phenomenal glass bridge stretches between 2 mountain cliffs in a national forest park, a distance of 1,410 feet. With too many glass bridges being built, it isn't surprising that they've also been responsible for numerous injuries and at least 2 deaths. Number 7. Action Park, New Jersey, USA. For New Jersey residents, Action Park is a thing of legend. But the kind of terror this amusement park invokes isn't just the adrenaline-pumping kind that accompanies a thrill ride. For many people, it became a matter of life and death. It all started when Action Park was at its peak in the 1980s. Chaos ran rapid in a single day. Over 100 people would be rescued from drowning alone. In the average year, Action Park was responsible for 45 head injuries, and at least 6 people have died there. Despite all this, the park remained open until 1996. The park is so notorious that multiple documentaries have been made about its legacy, and for some reason, they even tried to reopen it in 2014. Needless to say, it didn't go so well and closed again in 2016, hopefully for the last time. Number 6. X-Scream. The X-Scream is located in Las Vegas, or more accurately, above Las Vegas, atop the Strat Hotel Casino and Sky Pond. Just get to the X-Scream requires you to reach the top of the 1,149-foot tall tower. And of course, the quickest way to do that is in one of the world's fastest elevators. Elevators at the Strat travel at an astounding 1,801 feet per minute, or 30 feet a second. Once you reach the top, the X scream awaits. A 68-foot length of track that rivers slides down before coming to an abrupt stop 27 feet past the end of the track, overlooking Las Vegas. If the shock doesn't kill you, the car is rolled back and passengers are dropped again. None of this takes place at a predictable rate though. In fact, half of the X scream's effect is psychological. The moment when the cart releases is seemingly random, and it will often stop several feet short only to drop riders another several feet unexpectedly, as if a major malfunction has occurred. Not for the faint of heart. This chilling thrill ride is designed to make you think something has gone horribly wrong. Number 5. Zip World Velocity. Located in Bethesda in the United Kingdom, is one of the fastest zip lines on Earth. It's called Velocity, and it carries riders down a 1,857-foot line suspended 1,000 feet over a barren quarry at speeds over 100 miles per hour. You might think that there's a limited number of people who would be willing to subject themselves to that experience, but it's not the case. In fact, the attraction was so popular with thrill seekers that 2 more locations have opened, including Velocity 2, which sees participants accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 10 seconds, and tops out at 125 miles per hour. Number 4. FURIUS BACO. The first of 2 roller coasters on today's list. The FURIUS BACO is located at Port Aventura Park in Catalonia, Spain, and offers passengers a truly one-of-a-kind variety of terror. Rather than riding in traditional roller coaster carts, patrons dangle over the edge of the ride with nothing between them in the wide open desert. Once everyone is buckled in, the FURIUS BACO accelerates from 0 to 135 kilometers per hour in just 3 seconds, faster than the acceleration of gravity. The coaster takes the dangling passengers through tunnels, barrel rolls, and over water. Number 3. Formula Rossa. The second coaster on today's list. The Formula Rossa is located in Abu Dhabi, and it is the world's fastest roller coaster. It employs a hydraulic launch system that propels riders to a top speed of 149.1 miles per hour in just 4.9 seconds. During the ride, passengers are subject to G-force as strong as 4.8 G. The idea behind the coaster was to mimic the experience of driving a Formula 1 car, and safe to say, they've succeeded. But if you guessed that doing 150 miles per hour in an open-top cart on rails might come with some hazards, you'd be right. The Velocity requires passengers to wear goggles in order to prevent damage to their eyes, and the ride cannot operate when there is rain or high winds, because an impact with a raindrop or sand particle would be like a brick in the face at these high speeds. Number 2. HUASHAN Cliffside Path. Over the past decade, many people became aware of the plight of people living in China's Atulera village. The village sits 1,400 meters above sea level, forcing young children to make a perilous and heart-wrenching journey alongside of a mountain to reach school every day. Now, you can too experience the thrill for just under $5 by visiting HUASHAN Cliffside Path, 1,300 kilometers north of Atulera. Here, hikers are given 2 hooks with which to keep themselves from plummeting 985 feet into a rocky valley. That wasn't always the case, and previously, hikers, numerous of which are tourists, had nothing but a narrow plank of wood and a chain to hold onto. Hikers do sometimes fall to their death here, and it is considered one of the most dangerous places in the world to hike. Number 1. The Cage of Death. There are many attractions on today's list that rely on high speeds or heights to frighten you. But our number 1 entry keeps things a little simpler, putting you in a tiny tube and making you square off with a man-eating beast. I'm talking about the Cage of Death at Crocosaurus Cove in Darwin, Australia. Here, up to 2 visitors at a time are put into an acrylic box with 1.5-inch thick walls and lowered into a tank with massive saltwater crocodiles for 15 minutes. Given that these massive creatures can weigh 2,000 pounds and are perfectly built hyper-carnivorous killing machines, you'd think that the equipment employed is pretty fail-proof. Well, I have bad news for you. While the Cage of Death may not have the same type of fatality rate as attractions like Action Park or the Yosemite Half Dome, things definitely go wrong. In 2015, for instance, a Dutch became stuck on the line for an extended period of time, leaving her claustrophobic and rather scared. Another couple in 2011 was in the cage when it broke off the support cable and fell into the water, causing a foot-long piece to break out of the bottom, allowing water to rush in. Fortunately, everyone got out alright, but I don't think it's a day they will soon forget. That's all for 10 scariest attractions in the world. Which one was your favorite? Have you heard of other scary attractions? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to Trend Joint for more incredible videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.